Welcome to the National Electrical and Communications Association and the Fair Work Ombudsman's electronic seminar for the Electrical, Electronic and Communications Contracting Industry Award 2010. My name is Oliver Judd. I'm the Employee Relations Manager for NECA, and I will also be your Fair Work Liaison Officer. If you have any questions in relation to this video, feel free to contact me on the details that will be provided later on to discuss any of the issues you may have. Please note that this video is supplemented by a guide to the modern award and the National Employment Standards. We recommend that you have a copy available with you during the video to assist you to understand the scenarios that are dealt with. To obtain a copy, simply fill your details into the form on this page and NECA will get a copy to you. This presentation is broken into chapters, each containing an explanation of each of the National Employment Standards, or NES, and an explanation of the more critical provisions of the Electrical, Electronic and Communications Contracting Award 2010. It is important that you understand the obligations outlined in this video, as there are significant fines that can be imposed where businesses do not comply. A set of 10 standards, known as the National Employment Standards, or NES, was introduced on 1 January 2010 as part of the implementation of the Fair Work Act 2009. These standards apply to every employee in Australia, except non-constitutional employees engaged in Western Australia. This generally means employees of sole traders, partnerships, and government and public institutions, regardless of their type of employment. This chapter deals with request for flexible working arrangements. There are two types of persons that can make a request for a flexible working arrangement. They are, firstly, a parent with a child that is under school age, and secondly, a parent with a child that is under 18 years of age and has a disability. An employee may only make a request for a flexible working arrangement after completing a minimum of 12 months service with an employer. In the case of a casual employee, the employee must have been engaged on what is known as a regular and systematic basis and have a reasonable expectation of ongoing employment on a regular and systematic basis. The award states that where a written flexibility arrangement is willingly made between an employer and an employee, it must be in writing. The arrangement must result in the employee being better off overall and can only vary the following conditions of the award. 1. Arrangements for when work is performed. 2. Overtime rates. 3. Penalty rates. 4. Allowances. And 5. Leave loading. Where an employee is under the age of 18 years, any flexibility arrangement will need to be signed by the appropriate parent or guardian. An employer may only refuse a request on reasonable business grounds. To illustrate this, I use the following example. Assume Vinny is a first-year apprentice, recently married, and his wife has just given birth to a daughter. During Monday to Thursday, Vinny's wife Samantha stays at home to look after the child. However, on Friday, Samantha attends university. In these circumstances, Vinny could make a request to vary his working hours so that instead of working 7.6 hours per day, 5 days per week, he would now work 10 hours per day, Monday to Wednesday, and 8 hours on Thursday. In making this request, Vinny agrees that the time off work on Friday is a greater benefit, and as such he is better off when considering that he forgoes the penalty rates that would normally apply where an employee works greater than 8 hours any day, Monday to Friday. Max, Vinny's employer, wants to refuse the request because he does not have staff to supervise Vinny in the last 2 hours of the days, Monday to Wednesday. In these circumstances, Max has a reasonable business ground to refuse Vinny's request because he has a lawful obligation to supervise Vinny as he is a first-year apprentice. The situation would be completely different, however, if Vinny was not an apprentice. It is critical that Max provide a written response within 21 days of Vinny making his request, and if Max is going to refuse the request, he must also provide his reasons in a letter. Thank you for watching this video. We encourage you to watch all the chapters in this series. If you have any questions, you can contact me on the details that are shown, and if you haven't already obtained a copy of the guide, we strongly recommend that you get one as soon as possible.